Dinner as a guest, horror story, one boy's mother died. A year later his father met another woman, and said he was going to marry her. When the boy saw this woman, he didn't like her. There was something about her that gave the boy the creeps. Though there was nothing scary about her, on the contrary, she was very beautiful. The boy did not say anything to his father, because he did not know how to explain why he was afraid. I have a daughter too. She is almost the same age as you. Her name is Ida, and you can play with her, the woman told the boy, and he thought maybe he was afraid for nothing. One day he and his father went to visit this woman. When they walked in, the boy immediately saw her daughter. The girl was also very beautiful. She had long blonde hair, big dark eyes and very fair skin. The boy said hello, but the girl said nothing. She doesn't talk, the woman said, but she understands. The girl nodded. Go and play for a while, said the woman. Ida, show him your dolls. The girl got up and went ahead, the boy followed her. When they entered the room, the girl sat down on the bed, took the doll, the comb, and began to comb the doll's hair as long as the girl herself. The boy looked around the room. There were so many dolls in the room. The dolls were all different and so well made that they seemed like real people, only small. Like gnomes from a fairy tale. But the boy got scared again. It seemed to him that the dolls were looking at him intently. Not to look at the dolls, the boy turned to the girl and watched her play with the doll. And almost screamed, only now seeing that the girl had no hands, they were replaced by prosthetics. The boy looked at Ida for a long time, or rather at her hands, and could not take his eyes off them. Sometimes he thought they were real hands, the way the girl handled them so well. But still he wanted to get out of the room, where the dolls watched his every move, and out of this house in general. Children, go eat, the boy heard and hurriedly left the room. But then suddenly he felt someone grab his arm. He turned around and saw Ida. She was holding his hand with her prostheses, and shaking her head as if she wanted to say no. Do you want to play some more? The boy asked, but the girl kept shaking her head. No. I don't understand what you want, said the boy. But then the woman appeared and Ida immediately let the boy go. Hurry up, said the woman, or the food will get very cold. They sat down at the table and began to eat. The food was very good, especially the chicken wings, which he liked very much, though they had a strange sweet taste. Daddy liked them too. And after eating, the boy completely forgot about his fears. He was even a little surprised that he was afraid of the woman and Ida. He thought the woman was actually very nice, and Ida was nice too, just a little strange. Did you like it? Dad asked as they walked home. The boy nodded. He no longer remembered at all what he had been afraid of, he only remembered how good it had been to visit. But at night the boy woke up to a severe pain in his stomach. The pain was so intense, as if something was cutting into his insides with sharp claws. It's not something, the boy suddenly realized, it's hands. Ida's hands. Which we ate like chicken wings. That's why the meat had a sweet taste. After all, it was human meat. And now those hands were alive and trying to get out. The boy screamed. Out of fear and pain. And he heard his daddy screaming in the other room. The last thing the boy could think of was that Ida would soon have 2 more dolls. The boy and his father were found only a few days later. Dead, with their bellies ripped open. The Black Giant, scary story. One girl was often left home alone, because her parents worked hard. But the girl was bored at home, and she had no friends in the yard. One day the girl climbed on the roof. It was quiet there, and nothing prevented her from looking at the clouds. All day long the girl lay on the hot, sun-heated concrete, looking at the floating clouds and listening to the songs of the wind. The only other person on the roof was a gray cat, who flashed a yellow eye at the girl and left on his own. The girl liked it on the roof and began to come here often in the daytime, and sometimes in the evening, when her parents at home began to argue. She brought an old blanket and a bowl for the cat on the roof, where she left bits of sausage or meat. One day, while sitting on the roof after sunset, the girl suddenly saw a huge giant walking toward the city, and the cloak behind his back was as black as the darkest night. The girl was frightened and screamed. The giant stopped and began to look around. But the girl put her hand over her mouth and quickly ran away from the roof. After that, the girl began to see giants everywhere. The one who brought morning on his wings was very old and kind. The other, with whom came the snow and frost, was mighty and cruel. It cost him nothing to freeze to death any animal, or even a man. The giants carried the moon and the sun, chased clouds across the sky, and poured rain on the city. There were many of them, and they were as different as people. But humans lived in their world, and giants lived in theirs. And only a girl could see two worlds, the world of people, and the world of giants. But that was not the scary part. The scary thing was that the black giant, who brought the night, knew about the girl and her secret, and was looking for her. At first it was easy for her to hide, but every day he got closer and closer to her. The days grew shorter and the nights longer, but no one but the girl noticed it. The blackbirds flew to the house where the girl lived, sat on the branches and opened their wings, letting the night out. The girl slept now only with the lights on, and carried matches in her pocket, lighting them when the blackbirds tried to attack her. And when one day the night creatures surrounded her, she set fire to the bed in her room. She managed to drive the birds away, but her daddy took the matches away from the girl. The next morning came for everyone but the girl. The birds covered the whole sky above the house where the girl lived with their wings and screamed, summoning the black giant. And though no one saw them, people looked up anxiously and hurried away. The girl did not go to school. She sat at home and waited for it to be over. She was very scared, but she knew she couldn't run anywhere. The black giant came and looked in the window. In his eye the girl saw millions of yellow and blue stars. And among the stars were other children. They called the girl to them. She got up and went to them. When the parents returned home in the evening, they found the girl dead. She was lying on the bed, and at first it seemed that she had just fallen asleep. But the girl's eyes were open, and they were as black as a dark, moonless night. The mother looked into the girl's eyes and her hair turned gray in an instant.